You know, in our totally digital world, it feels like we're surrounded by threats. But have you ever wondered what's really protecting everything from your bank account to national secrets? Well, it all comes down to a really simple but incredibly powerful idea. Today, we're going to break down the bedrock of cybersecurity, the CIA Triad.
All right, let's just start with a number, a huge one, $10.3 billion. That's billion with a B. According to the FBI, that's how much cash cybercrime cost Americans in just 2022. This isn't some niche tech problem. It's a massive threat that hits all of us, right in the wallet.
And here's the thing, it's not getting any better. Just listen to this quote from an FBI special agent. The takeaway? The attacks are getting way more sophisticated, and they're coming from literally everywhere. The game is constantly changing.
So, with all that chaos out there, how do you even begin to build a defense? Well, cybersecurity experts don't just react to every little thing. They start with a core set of principles, a foundational model that brings some much-needed order to the whole fight.
So here's our game plan. We've seen the stakes are high. Now we're going to dive into the three main pillars: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Then we'll wrap up by looking at how this whole framework is changing over time. All right, let's jump into the first pillar, confidentiality. This one's pretty intuitive, right? It's all about keeping secrets secret.
So what does that actually mean? Simply put, it's about making sure only the right people can see sensitive information. We're talking about your medical records, your private bank statements, secret company plans. The whole goal is to make sure there's a velvet rope and only people with the right permissions get past it.
Now, here's what's so interesting. A lot of the time, confidentiality gets broken because of simple human error. You've seen phishing attacks, right? Those emails that try to trick you into handing over your password. And weak passwords? Come on, that's basically like leaving your house keys under the welcome mat.
So how do we lock things down? Well, a big part is just teaching people what to look out for. But technology is huge here too. We use strong encryption, which is like scrambling your data into a secret code. And you know that thing where you need your password and a code from your phone to log in? That's multi-factor authentication, and it is an absolute lifesaver.
Okay, on to our second pillar, integrity. See, it's not enough for your data to be secret. You also have to know that it's true. Integrity is all about trust. It's about making sure your data is authentic and that nobody has messed with it. Whether it's the balance in your bank account or a critical piece of code, you have to be able to trust that what you're seeing is the real deal and that it hasn't been altered.
Now, threats to integrity can be super high-tech, like SQL injections, where a hacker literally changes a database with malicious code. But sometimes it's surprisingly low-tech. Someone could physically tamper with a server, or an employee with way too much access could accidentally, or not so accidentally, corrupt some really important file.
Protecting integrity is all about layers of defense. Regular backups are completely non-negotiable. They're your undo button for a catastrophe. And this one is really smart, enforcing the principle of least privilege. It just means you only give people the exact permissions they need to do their job and absolutely nothing more. It massively reduces risk. So we've got secret data and we've got trustworthy data. We're all good, right? Well, almost. What good is perfect data if you can't get to it when you need it? And that brings us to pillar number 3, availability. And believe me, the stakes on this one can be incredibly high. Just picture a doctor in an ER who can't pull up a patient's medical history, or a 911 operator whose system goes down during a crisis. Availability is all about making sure systems are up and running and that authorized people can get what they need right when they need it. The threats here can come from anywhere. You've got things like DDoS attacks. That's basically when hackers create a digital traffic jam so huge that it crashes a website. Then there's ransomware, which can lock you out of your own stuff. But it's not always an attack. Sometimes a server just fails, or a natural disaster takes a data center offline. To make sure things stay available, you really have to plan for failure. Building in redundancy is key. It's like having a backup power generator for your house. If one system goes down, another one kicks in instantly. And a good disaster recovery plan is your ultimate safety net. It's the step-by-step playbook for how to get back online after things have gone really wrong. So let's do a super quick recap. Confidentiality is about keeping data secret with tools like encryption. Integrity is about keeping it trustworthy, using things like backups. And availability is about making sure you can get to it with redundancy and other protections. You see? They all have to work together.
You really can't have one without the others.
But you know how it is, the world of tech never sits still for a second. So while the CIA Triad is absolutely the foundation, some experts are starting to say that in our modern world, it might not be quite enough. The framework is growing.
So we're seeing some new ideas get added to the mix. Things like authenticity, which is all about proving you are who you say you are. There's non-repudiation. It's a mouthful, but it just means having ironclad proof that you sent a message so you can't deny it later. And then there's resilience, which is all about how fast you can bounce back after you get hit with an attack.
So here's the key takeaway. Even as the world of cybersecurity gets more and more complex, everything, and I mean everything, still stands on the shoulders of these three core principles: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. They are and will continue to be the absolute bedrock of our digital security.
Once you get this framework, you'll start seeing it everywhere, protecting your entire digital life. So, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. When you think about your own data and all the online services you rely on every day, which one of these three pillars, secrecy, trustworthiness, or access, do you think is the weakest link right now?